Hey guys, Cabo Greg here. Today is March 24th, Friday. I think I finally got that right. And I'm bringing you this week's fishing report. Um, as you can see from the pictures below, if you're on the website, I know some of you guys are on YouTube watching this, um, but I hope that most of you guys are on the website so you can look below and see what our fishing has been like. Tells you the best story of all, right? Because as I've said many times, having done this report, that I can pretty much say anything, but what really matters is what's actually being caught, and the photos below will show you exactly what's being caught. This last week was again really good. If you like to catch lots of fish, right? If you like to catch multiple fish, if you like to catch, it doesn't matter if it's a big trophy fish. You just like to catch fish. It's been a really good week. Um, Limits on Sierra mackerel. We had limits on sea bass. We had tons of boats come out and come back with their decks full of fish, and so what we haven't seen is a ton of billfish. Now we did see some. You'll see some photos of some marlin that we caught, and it's just been kind of here and there. Yesterday, the Water Journey went out to the Finger Bank with our good friend Tom, and they killed it. They went 4 for 4 on striped marlin and saw a bunch more. Came back because the winds got up, but that's a long way. You won't be able to do that on a regular day trip. It's 12, 14-hour day that they did. So there's fish up there. Why they're not here, I can't tell you 100%. But they should be getting here. I mean, I said it for the last couple of weeks. We should be seeing more and more billfish, and we just haven't. And any day, I think any day we're going to go out there and it's going to be off the hook. But fishing is fishing, and those of us that like to fish and know fishing know that every day is a little bit different. Although conditions are going to be perfect, doesn't mean the fish are going to bite. And so Cabo's great for fishing no matter what because there's always something to catch. But billfish have just been tough, and we're not the only ones. If you check the other fleets, other reports, you'll see the same thing going on. What's been good is, like I said, the bottom fish. So we had some really nice rooster fish this week, Sierra mackerel. So some good action fish, not huge trophy fish, but action fish. Tuna we didn't see any of, besides a couple here and there, small 7-8 pounders. Dorado have been absolutely nowhere. I saw a picture of another boat with another fleet that caught a really nice one, a 40 or 50 pounder, but they found a floating log out there, and that's how they found that fish. But we haven't really seen any now going on 5 weeks. So again, another fish that should be here. It's not here, but could be here any day. I mean, we can go out tomorrow and find a whole giant school of them, and that wouldn't surprise me one bit. The pongas have been the most productive, and I know not everybody loves to ponga fish, but those boats have been producing the most amount of fish and have been doing excellent. And the fish are in close. I mean, the good news is we're not having to travel a long distance. I want to go over something that came up and has come up before on some reviews online about us and other fleets, because I read everybody's reviews just because I'm kind of weird that way. But the bait situation here in Cabo San Luis, when you go on a fishing charter, those of us that include bait, include 10 pieces of live bait for a full day and 5 pieces of bait on a half day. And here's the reason why. We don't always use live bait. When billfish are biting, dorado are biting, we use a lot of trolling lures, artificial lures, high-speed trolling lures, all sorts of different tackle that we use to catch fish. And we only use a live bait when we actually spot fish or we see fish on the surface, or when there's schools of fish. Then that's when we use a live bait, okay? Which means that we sometimes come back after a good day of fishing with a whole tank full of live bait because we just didn't have to use it. So a lot of people get confused and they're like, well, why didn't we troll live bait? Well, because you can only troll live bait for so long before it dies, right? You can't troll live bait all day. Some species last longer than others, but here they don't last very long, and so it doesn't make sense to do it. Now, when we spot fish, we use them. Recently, because we've been having such a good bottom bite, and because we've been having sea bass and grouper bite, and these fish, when you go down to the bottom and you drop a live bait, these fish are sneaky. They'll take that bait, and before you know it, it's gone. Or you hit a rock and it's gone. You lose the whole setup, the weight, the hook, everything. And so live bait goes by quickly. Now, we had somebody tell me, listen, your mate asked asked me to buy live bait, and they went overboard and said they were $3 a piece. Well, live bait are $3 each here. Now, that seems insane, but we don't have a bait farm, we don't have a bait pen, there's no corral out there with bait in it. These guys go out every morning or late at night and catch the bait and then sell it to us in the morning. So live bait here are actually $3 a piece. So when we put on, if you're on a half-day trip and we have 5, and we say, listen, you might want to buy 5 more, you're looking at $15. It seems steep, but that's the price, that's the cost. There's nothing that anyone else can do. We don't control that, it's just put up by somebody else. Some of you may know also that we had a 20% fuel increase here at the beginning of the year, which makes this guy's job even harder because they spend fuel to go out a long way to find some of this bait sometimes. In any event, if your captain, if your mate, if us in the morning when you fish with us, we'll tell you, listen, it might be a good idea to buy live bait. It's completely up to you, but nobody's trying to rip you off. Nobody's trying to take advantage of you. It's just, hey, if you have 5 live bait for 5 hours and you lose it all in the first hour, you got 4 hours of trolling around artificials, which may not be the most effective way to fish. And so that's something to keep in mind. Live bait is something that we include with all of our charters. However, there are times when you need more, and that's just fishing. We talk about that when you get here. When you check in with us in the morning, everybody that fishes with us, we go over the live report, which is what actually happened the day before, what's going on now, what we're catching, and then what our strategies are for the day. So don't we just put you on a boat and go out and fish and hope for the best, right? We actually ask you what your goals are, what you want to fish for. In fact, we just got off a phone call with a young man who wanted to fish for marlin next week. And he had a half day that he could devote for marlin fishing, and we said, it's probably not going to happen. Honestly, a half-day marlin trip right now doesn't make a lot of sense. We're just going to disappoint you because it's probably absolutely not going to happen. Why? Because fish are out there a long way. Now, yes, we're on fishing boats. These aren't speed boats, right? So we can do, average going out to the fishing grounds, about 12 knots, 10, 12 knots, so that people don't get sick. It takes us, if we're doing 12 knots and we got to go 20 miles, it takes about an hour and a half. Now, if you got an hour and a half to get there and an hour and a half to get back, you got 2 hours to fish. That's not enough time for us to feel comfortable going, hey, well, we're going to be able to put a marlin on the boat. If you don't have time for a full day right now, it just doesn't make sense. And even if you did, it still doesn't make sense because we haven't seen any fish. So what I'm trying to say at the end of the day here, guys, is that when you call us, we're not just going to sell you a fishing trip, right? That's not what we're about. It's not what we do. We never have. We never will. What we're going to try to do is give you the information and be honest about what's actually going on. That's why I do these reports, is because you're hearing this straight from me. I own the company. I deal with this every single day. I'm in a wheelchair now, as you guys can see, because I broke my leg. But usually I'm out there. Usually I'm, in the thick of it. Right now I have to do it kind of remotely, but I can still tell you what's going on because it's my job. It's what I do. I want you to know that you can trust us and that we're not going to mislead you into a dream fishing trip that just isn't going to happen. So right now, if you fish today, you fish tomorrow, you fish, in the next few days, you're going to catch some nice fish. Rooster fish, Sierra mackerel, maybe some yellowtail, grouper, snapper. What we probably aren't going to see are sailfish. We're not going to see marlin. We're probably not going to see any shark. We're not going to see tuna. We're probably not going to see dorado, and that's just the truth of it. Now, tomorrow that might change, and I'll, hopefully that'll change tomorrow. But that's just how it is. Okay, so. I wanted to get that all out there because people are wanting to know the truth about what's going on. That's what's going on. This is actually what the real conditions are at the moment. If your dream is to catch a marlin and you have a half day to do it, right now is not the time. If your dream is to come out to Cabo, enjoy some beautiful weather, have fun on a boat, drink a couple beers, catch some nice fish, come back, grill it up, come now. Right? That's what it's all about. So anyways, appreciate you guys letting me rant a little bit this week. I'll catch you guys next week with next week's fishing report. Hopefully we'll see some better fish. Look down below. Don't leave here without scrolling down and checking out the pictures of the fish that we're actually catching. All right, guys? See you soon. Thanks a lot. Take care. See ya.